welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, coming to you live from Lagos. Reminder of our major stories tonight. Justice Binta Nyako makes a U-turn on Nnamdi Kanu, rules that his trial will now be open to the public. The Senate names Ahmed Lawan as the new Senate leader, even as Ali Ndume expresses surprise at the decision. Police in Kaduna arrest suspected masterminds of the attacks in southern Kaduna as the state government promises to bring them to book. And Donald Trump's Attorney General pick, Jeff Sessions, denies sympathizing with the KKK in a tough Senate confirmation hearing. And just to let you know that for more on our top stories and others, please visit our website, channelstv.com, and on youtube.com/channelsweb. You can also watch us on the go on your mobile device. Log on to m.channelstv.com or download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows phones from their respective stores. Now, having the Channels TV and Channels 24 app will give you access to news and updates. You can also have the Eyewitness feature, so you too can be part of the news. Just install the app, then tap and swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu, and then follow the instructions to share those pictures, videos or news of happenings around you. Well, some of you have already done that, and let's share those pictures with you, shall we? First is this one from Irua in Edo State, where doctors at the Irua Specialist Teaching Hospital, clad in black outfits, are protesting the state of the health sector. According to our Eyewitness reporter, the choice of black is to mourn the deplorable state of the sector while calling for urgent action. And this one is from Amuwo Odofin in Lagos State, and it shows cattle moving in a residential estate at Mile 2. Our Eyewitness reporter says the cows constitute a nuisance in the neighborhood by disrupting vehicular and human movements, and he's asking the government to do something about it. And from Imo State comes this image showing the impact of erosion on a road in Ikedru local government area. Our Eyewitness reporter says the road has been abandoned for many years and is asking for immediate action to restore it. Let's end with this one from Ondo State. It's a picture of an overloaded vehicle moving on the Ife-Ondo Road. Our Eyewitness reporter wants the Federal Road Safety Corps to put an end to such acts, such violations, that is. The Bring Back Our Girls group today marched on the streets of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, for a third consecutive day to raise awareness on the welfare of Nigerian soldiers engaged in the war against terror. The group says it's honoring fallen heroes of the Nigerian Armed Forces as it marks the 1003rd day since the girls' abduction.
Fallen heroes of the Nigerian military were paid tribute on this day. The selfless heroism of Nigerian soldiers who were previously deployed without adequate strategy and armament are now honored for accomplishments once thought impossible in the face of what was a ravaging insurgency. While the Nigerian military's recent deconstruction of Boko Haram's operational capacity and territorial influence is incontrovertible, the Bring Back Our Girls group questions war administration.
Even those who have returned were not rescued based on intelligence. There wasn't an operation that was done based on intelligence to go in and rescue the girls. All that has happened is that 21 were negotiated for because we kept insisting that there must be a negotiation, even though for various reasons the military and most Nigerians were opposed to negotiation because it was deliberately being seen as admission of weakness.
Co-convener of the Bring Back Our Girls group, Obi Ezekwesili, says the federal government's support of the military is insufficient.
Every time that we lose a soldier in the war front, we understand that it is a necessary it's a necessary consequence of war. But must we? We need to ask ourselves, must we really lose soldiers? as often as we have lost them. We don't want one more death of our soldiers. We don't want them to have to pay with their price, even though by signing up to be a soldier, that's the commitment they have made.
In a maturing democracy, civilian protests do enjoy the sympathy of many, but in achieving any objective, one questions whether balanced and solution-oriented movements may march further toward the path of success than that of indignation and critical judgment alone. Ajuri Ngilale, Channels Television News.
The crisis between Osun State pensioners and the state government is taking a new twist. The pensioners have set up what they call internally displaced pensioners camp in Osogbo, the state capital. They say they're doing this in protest of the non-payment of their gratuities and other salary arrears.
They call it an internally displaced pensioners camp. Retirees in Osun State gathered under the scorching sun, singing and praying. This is another way to protest the non-payment of their pensions and gratuities. The camp is set very close to the Freedom Park, built by the state governor Rauf Aregbesola. And here, the chairman of the Forum of 2011-2012 retirees of the Nigerian Union of Pensioners reels out the demands of the group.
Payment of arrears of 18 months and pension without any further delay. We therefore request the federal government to set up a high-power special committee to probe how the latest fund, that is, over the deduction of Paris Club loan, is utilized.
A surprise face here is that of Justice Folahanmi Oloyede. The judge compulsorily retired by the National Judicial Council following investigations into her petition against Governor Aregbesola. She took time to educate the pensioners on their rights and also asked the state government to respect the rights of the pensioners as enshrined in the Constitution.
Mine is to enlighten, and I've told them that this enlightenment campaign will continue. This advocacy about telling Osun people and Nigeria at large that this is your right under the Constitution.
I'm sorry. I feel like crying. As I'm speaking to you right now, I've not eaten anything all day.
Stories like this abound among the pensioners, and for their service to the nation, these senior citizens deserve to be treated better. One way to do this is for government to pay their pensions and gratuity.
To another form of protest, the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors in Abuja have staged a protest calling on the federal government to implement the 2014 National Health Act and the 2001 Abuja Declaration on Health Financing. According to the protesting doctors, the non-implementation of previous agreements have led to preventable deaths that are often blamed on medical practitioners.
Saying that Nigerians should benefit from universal health coverage. We have a law that has been signed in 2014 called the National Health Act. In this act, there's a provision for what is called basic medical income, basic medical expense, which should be like 1% of the consolidated revenue of the federal government, and 50% of it is to provide basic health care to the vulnerable, which should be run by the NHIS. And this includes the mothers and then children under the age of 5, so that our maternal mortality and our under 5 mortality can drop. When people have to pay for health care, it delays the work we do as doctors, and then preventable deaths occur, and these deaths are blamed on us. So we need the government to implement this act, and we need a time frame, not I will do it today, I will do it tomorrow. For instance, the WHO recommendation for budget funding for health care sector in developing countries is 11%. Ours this year is 4.7.
And while the doctors protest, the president has promised to revitalize 10,000 primary healthcare centers across the country in fulfillment of his promise to improve healthcare in rural communities. President Muhammadu Buhari gave this assurance during the flag-off of the primary healthcare program in Abuja. Our correspondent Gloria Umezuke reports.
The president's arrival signaled the beginning of what many describe as a revolution in the primary healthcare system. Primary healthcare has been described as a grassroots approach to providing healthcare services to communities in Nigeria, but not many have benefited from the program since its inception in 1978. Flanked by government officials and stakeholders in the health sector, the president's determination to reinforce action to salvage primary healthcare centers nationwide is made evident.
I want to assure Nigerians that the government will continue to ensure that great numbers of Nigerians have access to quality basic health care services, and to call on all state governors to see this as a call to action to make realization of primary health care centers a vital part of this agenda. So far, we have commenced the revitalization of one primary health care in each senatorial zone in the country. Our vision is to revitalize 10,000 primary health care facilities in Nigeria using a phased approach.
The federal government has laid strategies in collaboration with foreign partners to ensure transparency.
Immunization is only for the rich. Antenatal care is for the rich. Skill back attendance is for the rich. But under your leadership, we are committed to developing programs that will favor the poor.
The official flag-off of the center by the president has set the rapid response ball rolling for an effective primary health care service delivery for the less privileged. One baby delivered here is symbolically named after the president. Baby Muhammadu is a testimony that this facility is fully operational. It is hoped that this revitalization is sustained and followed to the letter in every state. Gloria Umezuke, Channels Television News.
And there are also efforts to improve healthcare delivery in Ogun State. And let's take a look at what those efforts are.
For healthcare to be made available to every Nigerian, there needs to be sustainable partnerships from relevant stakeholders in the sector. And this is one of such, as the Ogun State government is teaming up with the federal government and the World Bank to improve its primary healthcare delivery system, with emphasis on malaria and HIV/AIDS.
We received an initial grant of $1.5 million. This will be counterparted by the state government. And then the focus of the fund is actually to develop primarily the primary care system in a way that health system will become available to people in communities where they live.
The financial benefit of the program, which will help execute projects, is enough incentive, but priority should be placed on performance.
The baseline indices have been taken for each state. We are not competing with Jigawa, we are not competing with any state. We are not competing with Lagos State, but we are competing with Ogun State. We need to show results for those programs, and independent people will still come to assess us.
With the inauguration of a technical and steering committee to kickstart the program, the hope is that the dedication will lead to an improvement in the quality of healthcare delivery in Ogun State.
When the News at 10 returns, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara, says the House is committed to achieving a transparent budget. That'll be on business. Join us again.